All right, welcome to part one of this new mini series that I'm doing. Basically, I'll be showing you the entire back end of exactly how I run my webinar funnels, and I'll basically be showing you the entire SOP and literally every single thing that I've been working on in the past couple days on launching this new webinar. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So, first things first, I came up with the webinar name with what exactly they'll be learning on this upcoming class. Just making sure the main thing that we want to teach on the class is, crystal clear, exactly, what they get if they hop on and what they'll be walking away from the webinar, because, that's really the most important thing, right? You want to get people on and you got to give them a good reason to hop on. So make sure to not only have a good offer, at the end of your webinar, but also when you're presenting the actual webinar, make sure that the information that you're teaching inside the webinar is super saucy. Next up, I've thought about our lead magnet. So first things first, the actual registration page. So let me show you guys exactly how ours look like. So first things first, we do have live event starts in 12 days, 3 hours, 39 minutes, 25 seconds, limited spots. Just adding scarcity, letting them know that the event is actually happening in, XYZ days. Discover the 4 internal shifts to manifest the reality you've always dreamed of. That's the promise. Dissolve the hidden subconscious blocks, preventing you from effortlessly manifesting your desired reality. Wednesday, October 8th at 7 p.m. EST. Again, we do have another scarcity. Then call to action, get my button. If they click on that, they get to actually register what they're about to learn inside. We do have a little agenda, live Q&A, bonuses, cost of doing nothing versus joining the actual class. Next up, free gift. Now, this is very important. Have a free gift for them to actually show up, and something for them to also just get excited. People love free things, especially when they are super, super, super valuable. So in this case, our whole purpose of this webinar is to basically allow people to, actually manifest their dream realities. And the first step to doing all that is just basically, reclaiming your actual attention. So instead of focusing on, the outside world, the news, the, other people's opinions, it's basically the crucial step is to just claim back your attention. So that way you can actually focus on, doing all the work that's necessary. So for your free lead magnets, make sure it's something super valuable. Make sure it's like the first step that they actually need to take. So let's say you have a sales offer, or high ticket closing offer, or you have a B&B offer. It's always like acquiring properties, right? Or acquiring clients. And to do that, you need to do outreach, right? So for example, you could have, the outreach masterclass, and yeah, just have that on your page, register, get a free gift just literally for showing up. It boosts the show rate, and it also, you can actually give it to them at the end of the webinar, which I'll get back to in a sec of how you can leverage this, as much as possible, too. So that's just for the registration page. Now, lastly, last call to action. Once they do register, we send them to our thank you page. So your registration is almost complete. Watch the video below to finish your registration. So here we'll have a VSL. I'll actually walk through that in part 2 because I don't have that finished yet. Step 2, click below to add this event directly to your calendar. So make sure to have a custom code here. When they click on this, it just sends them directly to their Google Calendar, and it pre-fills all the details about the actual event, the name of the webinar, when is it happening. It puts it directly into their calendar, as well as the link where they can join from. In the VSL, we're mentioning that just to make sure to do this so they actually, don't miss out all the scarcity. Important thing here, do real scarcity and don't just come up with random stuff. Make sure it's actually genuine and real. People can feel that, and it is gonna do a lot if your scarcity is actually real. Step number 3, join the private WhatsApp group. Here we're basically just gonna be sending them extra resources, reminders, and just making sure that the show rate is as high as possible. We get them as excited as possible and as pre-sold as possible. So when they hop on the webinar, they'll literally be ready with their credit cards. So lastly, check your email. Make sure to get the invite. In the VSL, we mentioned that you won't be let in unless you do have the invite. So really make sure to check your email. Make sure did not land in spam. So this will directly send them to their inboxes. So that's for the registration page, thank you page, VSL. Next up, we do have reminder automations. So what we do is we do a confirmation email and SMS. After that, 7 minutes after, we send another email. Then 24 hours after that, another one. Then basically every single day we do send an email until we reach, the actual webinar day, which we send a 24-hour reminder, 8-hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, 1 minute, and then 5 minutes after as well. For the last day, we do both SMS and email. Throughout the week, we just do emails and, of course, WhatsApp reminders as well with extra resources. Now, with these, you got to be strategic. Basically, every single email needs to be, properly thought out. It's not just, hey, your event is happening on XYZ. Make sure to show up. Don't forget. Make sure to, handle objections. Um, just pre-sell them on themselves, on, that they can actually do whatever you're promising they're gonna do on the webinar. Make sure to sell them on yourself that actually what you're talking about. Tell them about talk to them about testimonials and your previous people that you've helped and how the information in the actual class have gotten XYZ results. And number three, sell them on the mechanism. So the basically your method that you're going to be teaching that is the only way to actually do things right. Sell them on those three: handle objections, answer whatever questions or confusions they might have. Just make sure they're as much pre-sold as possible, again, with every single piece of those emails. Next up, zaps. So you just want to make sure everything is going smooth. So we do have zaps that are gonna get registrants from from Webinar Jam over to Go High Level. We make sure they're added to the pipeline, which I'll talk about that pipeline more later in probably part 2 or 3, where I'm going to be talking about the actual post webinar flow, where we'll be using this this pipeline inside Go High Level the most. But yeah, you just want to make sure that they get zapped over to GHL, so that way we do have that contact and we can work with our sales team, within a CRM. So, yeah, those are the first apps. Next up, you need post webinars apps to basically, um, add people depending on what action they took. So if they showed up on the webinar, if they didn't show up on the webinar, if they booked a call, if they applied and didn't book a call, if they didn't apply at all, if they applied but they got disqualified. Yeah, basically all these different scenarios, you got to make sure to zap them in the right place. And then just all the zaps that you would usually have for an application form or a VSL call funnel. So, getting them into the right sequences for reminders. Um, yeah, I'm actually be talking more about this later. I haven't actually finished all the zaps yet, but I do have the first portion ready, which is for, the registration where we put them inside our CRM. Next up, WhatsApp group. I've already explained that. Just, create an extra WhatsApp channel. Let everyone know to join it, and yeah, you're pretty much done on that. ManyChat. When it comes to ManyChat, there's two things that I'd like to say. Number one, for Reels, send them the link to the registration page directly. That's what's been working the best for us. But when you're doing story sequences and you let people DM you or swipe up with a word, ask them directly in the chat to send you their email, name, and phone number. The registration rate is actually better this way, because when they're swiping up to stories, they are going to be thinking that they're talking to you. So yeah, have that automation set up where you're not sending them just a link, but you're actually asking directly in Instagram for all the details. And basically after they do all that, again, you zap all those informations from ManyChat to Go High Level and to Webinar Jam as well. So, they get into all the automations to send them the reminders and stuff. And after that, send them your thank you page, where they can join the WhatsApp group, add it to their calendars, all that good stuff. So that's for ManyChat. Next up, calendar. I've already spoken about this as well. Make sure they can add the event to their calendars with one click. Create a custom code. It's pretty simple. Just add that to your website. And lastly, UTM trackers. So we want to make sure that we're tracking every single piece of traffic that's coming to us and where exactly they're coming to us. So we're going to be promoting our webinar on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and our email list. So we want to make sure to know exactly, where they came from. And also for once we convert them, we actually know, which traffic source works the best for us. So make sure to set all those up as well. Now for the organic launch, as you can see, we haven't started much on that. I started writing some of the emails. So now the presentation, we already do have the webinar script ready. I'm just gonna be working on these slides now, just getting them finished, getting them ready and clean. I'm gonna be talking about that more in part 2. Yes, forgot be writing the emails, writing the SMS, not finished yet. Also, I'll probably talk more in part 2 of, specifically what emails we're sending, what specific things we're, handling in them. For the application funnel, that's basically, after the webinar, the call to action and all that's happening on that end. For the sales team, we've hired our closers, we've hired our setters, not the entire team yet. We're in process of training them, as well as the closers. All the SOPs are ready, EODs are ready, and we've also have all the trackings ready. That's everything that I've done so far. I am gonna be doing a part 2 of this, where I'll basically cover all the rest. I hope you guys got some insane sauce out of this, and I think this will probably be a 3-part series where, in part 2 I'll walk you through, basically just update you again on what I've done extra. If you want me to actually send you this SOP, this checklist, I'll link it down in my Telegram channel. You can join it. I'll have it in there so you can actually get this. And if you want to run a webinar or you're running one and you might want to add some stuff, it could be helpful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, drop a sub, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one in part 2. All right, peace.